Oh, hi guys. Welcome back. So, I think last episode I kind of alluded to the fact that there was going to be a guest on this episode. Um, Unfortunately, it's just me. But don't worry because the guest that will be coming on has rescheduled. We are on the calendar. And it's honestly like not even her fault. I really wanted to film today. So we're filming. And this is completely like off the cusp. I have nothing planned. Genuinely, I usually have at least like an umbrella topic that I want to talk about, but today's not the day. And I'm actually just going back over what I said in my head about how I said that it wasn't her fault, and now I just kind of gave a clue as to who was going to be the guest. Just forget. Here's Norman. Norm, would you like to say a couple words? No, not today. So today there's no overarching topic or points that I want to make, but I just thought I would do a quick little catch up, which is usually just all of my episodes anyways. So, let's dive into it. Let's see. It is a couple days after the 4th of July as of recording. Yeah, I feel like I kind of have whiplash with life right now. I feel like I am going a million miles a minute. I am working 2 full-time jobs still. And I've been just really active at the gym and trying to hang out with my friends, trying to make time for a certain someone. Not actually. It's too soon to even talk about it really, but it's my podcast, so I get to talk about what I want to. Okay, let's just go through let's just get all the boys out of the way. All the boys. Okay, so last episode I mentioned that I had a crush on someone. That crush was just a crush. It is dead and gone. Nothing against him at all. Such a sweetheart. Love him to death. Just an absolute honey, if there ever was one. Just fleeting. It was just exciting in the moment. I have... Let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to remember like what I have all disclosed because my podcast it's become an item of interest, and here's my issue is that the town that I live in is just not big enough for me to talk about the like local people that I am interested in or have been involved with. So I have to be like even more vague because the second that I wasn't vague, it kind of came back to bite me in the butt, and we just can't have that. So, I will say that so I have met an individual, and we're gonna call him John Doe because that's what me and my friends call him. And the reason why we call him that is because I met him at a bar, and I asked what his name was, and he said his name. I didn't hear him. I said what? He repeated himself. Still didn't hear him. Okay, you can picture it, right? And yes, it was loud, but fine. He is fine, okay? And so, like, not only was it loud and I couldn't hear him because of the noise, I also was just, like, so nervous to be talking to him that, like, I just kind of blacked out. But I think I said what to him telling me his name about 3 times, and then I just gave up, and I was like, great. My name is Emily. Nice to meet you. Um, and figured, that was just kind of the end of it. We exchanged numbers, whatever. We ended up hanging out that night super, like, innocently. It was him and, like, one of his friends, and, like, we just kind of hung out and chilled. And then, like, I saw them again the next night at the bar, and, like, he just did something that, like, really pissed me off. I won't get into detail, but it wasn't like it pissed me off. It was just like oh, I'm actually not about this. Okay, we're good. Nothing detrimental. It was just, like, kind of an asshole move where I was like, okay, I'm good. And then we ended up matching on Hinge because I must have, like, saw him on there and, like, I sent him a rose. I never do that. Never do that. I don't send roses because I think that's cringe. I have a couple times, I'll be honest, but I usually don't. Cringes me out. Anyways, and he matched with me, and I don't remember sending the rose, but that's what it said. And then he was just like, LOL. And I was like, LOL. We started chatting a little bit more, and this man lives a good 3.5 to 4 hours away from me. Okay, so, like, not in the town I live, unfortunately. He was just visiting for that weekend. And so we were talking for a little bit, and then I took a risked my life, and I drove down there. I drove over there, just to see him and hang out with him. And you know what? Fabulous is all I'm going to say. He's fine. He's really respectful. He says, yes, ma'am. Which, I don't know. He opens my doors. He does the bare minimum. and he calls me things like sweetheart and ma'am. It's just precious. It's precious. He's precious, and he's got, like, great tattoos. He has a centipede tattoo, which at first still kind of is a little. I don't like bugs. I don't like spider tattoos, centipede tattoos, even snake tattoos. Just, like, they're not really my thing. He does have a centipede tattoo, but you know what? He's so lovely that, whatever. But yeah, we're still talking, but it's hard because he works a job that's a really blue collar, which is uncharacteristic of me to choose somebody that's blue collar. And he just works really long days, really long hours, and doesn't really get that much time off. So, I don't know. Yeah, so that's a thing. But right now, it's definitely more than a crush. A little bit more than infatuation. I don't know. Maybe the next time I film, I'm going to have a completely different look at it. But as of today, right now, he's lovely. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. But I don't like risking everything. I have trust issues to begin with. So I have not yet put all of my eggs in his basket. We are being open to the possibility that he is the worst thing known to mankind. So, I'm not really talking to anybody else because, again, he's just so lovely that, like, I kind of struggle to, like, he's like up here, And anybody that is, like, trying to talk to me right now kind of has to, like, work their way up. Not that I have a super long list. I really don't. And you know what? Like, there's just some honeys, There's some lovely, lovely people out there. And a lot of them are over 6'2". So what am I supposed to do? You know, I don't know. Anywho, but I will say that all of my friends approve of John Doe so far, to what they know, to what we all know, because I'm not going to get ahead of myself. There are still a lot of things about him that I don't know. Need to get to know him a lot more. But at this moment in time, very supportive. Yeah, I don't know. And here's the thing. Okay, so on my like dating apps, I have like a prompt that like kind of, it's just literally me mentioning that I have a podcast, and that seems to be an item of interest, which is fine. Obviously, it's one of my hobbies, and I'm proud of it, so makes sense. But here's the thing: is I'm having a couple people who message me that have watched my podcast and will watch my podcast. And here's the thing: I talk a lot about boys. And it's funny, this, like, the main question that I get about my podcast is like, oh, what's your topic? Like, what's your podcast about? And I have to explain that I literally just yap, but also it usually is about boys. Like, that's just something sad or boys. Unfortunately. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what else do I talk? I mean, I rant on here, but I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, I just film myself ranting. But anyway, so I would just like to give a shout out to anybody that is new, that is watching, and that is curious about what I talk about and what I don't know, just what this is. Hi, hello. I'm sorry. I know that whoever, like, when I end up dating somebody, I know they're not gonna love hearing about the boys that I talk about, but I will say, I will give this little tidbit that I really do try to approach things with a genuine attitude and perspective, and I am not just out here trying to build a list and to use people. That's not my main goal. So please just know that. Yeah. And the thought has crossed my mind of like, okay, what about the day that I do get a boyfriend? Like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to talk about? No, I will have plenty of things to talk about, and yeah, but until then, you just get to hear about the chaos. So hopefully my life will be a little bit more structured and organized, and yeah, at that time. But until then, welcome to the mess. And just literally anybody new in general. I have noticed that there's been an increase in views. Not a ton by any means, but hi. Thanks for watching. Sorry in advance, and welcome. Yeah, and then okay. So John Doe. Do I bring up the baseball team? I'm going to bring up the baseball team. All right, let's talk some tea. Okay, so there is a team. Now, to preface, I don't know baseball. I'm an NBA girly through and through. There's a fire truck. I don't know baseball, okay? So forgive me. I had gone out with a guy a couple times. I went out of my comfort zone. I have mentioned him before. I'm going to call myself out and just say he was one of the coaches for this said baseball team. I'm just going to leave it at that, okay? I'm not going to talk a lot of stuff about him. I'm just going to say that it didn't work out. He is blocked. And I really have a thing for tall guys. And he was not. So, okay. And then that ended just as swiftly as it began. No hard feelings, no nothing. And then I matched with a player on the team who just so happens to be, he plays a position that like coach's specialty of coaching was for that position. So like I matched with the player. Okay, is this making sense? Anyways, lovely fella. This player is like, I think he's 6'4", absolutely jacked. Is he younger than me? Yes. Yes, he is. But he is beautiful, okay? Gorgeous. And you know what? He's a lovely man to talk to. Lovely. He is just so spunky. And spunky? Never used that word in my life. He's just like, can tell he's younger. He's just got that like dumb, not and not in a bad way, but just like that dumb like youthfulness, I guess. Because I'm so old, obviously. But he's just a cutie. He's a honey. He's so sweet. He's so nice. And he's not from here. And he will only be here for the summer. So, like, I'm not looking at anything serious. If anything, like, great friend, right? Oh, LOL. And you know what? Like, there's been some things where like he's given me tickets to like their games, and they have to write down like the names of who they're giving these tickets to, and like so did the coach. He also did that for me. Do I feel like a player? Do I feel like an absolute hoe? Absolutely. Absolutely I do. But this man that I matched with, this player, is like so awesome. He's so fun. Absolutely gorgeous. I know I mentioned that already, but just doubling down. So shout out. And so I think I don't know, obviously. I don't know everything, but I do know that I want to say I think he knows. Like, I think the coach knows that him and I are talking. And not even talking. Talking is like not the word I would use. But like talking, I guess. We're friends, and I think he knows that we're friends, at least. I haven't been to a game in a while. It's because I think distance is probably the best thing for that. But they're just like, they're so sweet, like there's been a couple players that, I'm sorry, but they're nice, they're sweet, and they're cuties, What's a girl supposed to do? My bad. Okay. We brought up the baseball team. But don't worry. That's like, I don't even have like any, as far as baskets go, there's like maybe a half an egg in that basket specifically, okay? Nothing serious by any means. And you know what? I'm sorry, my Snapchat is going off. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we brought up the baseball team. Wow. There's some tea for you. Didn't plan on disclosing that, but here we are. I'm trying to think if there's been anything else that's been, like, kind of crazy. I don't know. Okay. I thought of something else. This might be a loaded episode. This might get me in trouble. But you know what? It's my social media. my podcast. All right. So, we know that I like to go out. And also, just in advance, I think my camera's going to cut out any second now. So, apologies, because there will be a cut coming up, I'm assuming. If not, that'll be the first. We know that I like to go out. I like to go out with my friends. I like to have a good time, you know? And to try and, like, describe the connection here, the people that I'm about to talk about are in connection to the man that I, like, had serious feelings for. Okay? Not necessarily in connection, but I met these two individuals, these two girls, at a house party of his. And at the time, I think one of them was, hey, can you do that on the carpet, please? Thank you. One of them was talking to or dating one of his friends. Okay? So, like, I don't know, but that's where I met them, was at this house party, and I was completely gone. So, like, in my defense, I don't remember them, really, okay, when I met them. There was one weekend where they had, like, reintroduced themselves to me. I felt bad because I really didn't recognize them. I felt horrible. I hate when that happens. They were super sweet about it. Super sweet girls, like, so nice. And it sounded like they had kind of stayed friends with, or at least in connection with, that friend group when I wasn't talking to anybody, or friends with anybody in that group. Not that I was talking to anybody else in that group, but I was friends with a couple of them. And I was given some information about kind of the outlook of his friend group on, like, this situationship. And the guy that this girl was dating, talking to, seeing, canoodling with, I don't know, he told her that they had hoped that I would date him because I would be the breadwinner, and he could spend more time focusing on his hobbies. Now, I know the man who said this, who gave this information, and I know that they're not super close. These two guys, they're in the same friend group, but they're not that close. The cut's coming up, by the way. Man, I'm good. Okay. Anyways. Okay, so these two guys, the guy I had feelings for and this other guy, they're in the same friend group, but they're not super close, okay? But they're guys, you know? I don't know how they're able to do this, but they're able to, like, be best friends in the moment, and they trust each other with their lives, and then all of a sudden, and then they tell you, oh, yeah, I don't, not that this happened or anything, but they're just like, oh, yeah, I'm not really that close. But, like, they'll hang out together, and you're like, really? You sure? Anywho, when I was given this information, okay, kind of a flex. Like, yes, I know, I work hard. I have 2 really great jobs. Could I be the breadwinner? Probably, yes. But I almost, like, I almost didn't like that his friend saw him like that, because he's also a super hard worker. Like, he's very dependable. He's good at his job. He does not call out sick, really. He's got a great work ethic, and, and I think that if one of my friends I mean, granted, I'm a girl, but like, if one of my friends was just out there saying that, like, basically that I didn't have a good enough job to like support a relationship or like anything like I would take major offense to that. And I'm sorry, but you would no longer be my friend. And this is not me trying to like start anything with this group. Like, genuinely. This is just something that like really made me reflect on, okay, like, how do I want, like, I have a very strong work ethic. I know that, and I love that about myself. I work a lot. I make decent money. Do I want to be the breadwinner, though? Absolutely not. I do not want that stress. I do not want that burden. I'm sorry, but I would much rather be, don't care if it's offensive, I'd much rather be in the kitchen. Like, genuinely. I'm happy to, put in the work if it's like needed, but I'm getting ahead of myself. And I'm only talking about this because it really made me like kind of think about, like, I wonder what my friends say about me. I know my best friend has my back. Like, I know that she will talk highly of me. And if she has anything negative to say, I've heard it first, But it really made me wonder, like, oh, like, I wonder what, like, my friends would say, And it just kind of, I don't know. It just kind of made me think about it, and it kind of made me sad for him, because I was like, one, who is this other guy to like say that? But also, two, this was told to me through a third party. Like, this is a game of telephone, essentially, of like, she said that he said this, Could it have been misconstrued? Absolutely. Could this man have actually meant it like that? Maybe, probably not. I don't know. And again, maybe I shouldn't have even brought this up. But because I don't want to start any drama, I don't want to start anything. This is, it's just a thing, And I think it's really important to, I don't know, surround yourself with good people. And like, not that they don't have a good friend group. They do. They have a solid friend group. But it was more so a reflection for me to be like, wow, I hope that I have so many people in my corner that would talk highly about me and also have my back for like my future, like think about things like that. But it was kind of tea of like, they picked me out in the bar and just like decided to come over, reintroduce themselves, and then like disclose all of this information. And they told me other things too that like I won't disclose on here. And honestly, it's stuff that I didn't even need to know, really. It's just that friend group, man. I think the more that I am like, I don't know, I just really think that they're good people, which is funny, but I think that they just attract like the most dramatic situations. And that it's so funny to me because they're all so genuine and wholesome and precious, and like, I don't know what it is about it, but anywho, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Okay, that is pretty much all of my tea that I have to share. There has been nothing else crazy, diabolical, insane, or even just like good enough to talk about, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay, wow. So I really just kind of dumped, and this episode might get me in trouble. Honestly, I might get a couple DMs, a couple messages. I'm sorry. I never want to like offend anybody or like start anything. I don't know how many times I have to say that, because at the end of the day, I like to spill the tea too, and like, it is like my experience, and I feel like I don't have to justify it, but I also like feel like I do a little bit. I feel like I have to a little bit. is John Doe. Anywho. Ew. Ew. And you know what? Okay, one more thing about this John Doe character. Listen. He had talked about coming to visit me. He will come visit me, but with his work schedule, it's just like not on the calendar at this moment. There was gonna be a day where he was gonna come down, and you know what I did? You know what I did? So disgusting of me. You know what? No, I'm gonna take it as a good sign that like my heart is working and it's in the right place, because he said that, you know, he was like, oh, I'm gonna come down this day. You know what I did? I put in a Target grocery order and bought all the things needed for like banana bread, a really amazing like hearty dinner, like perfect for a blue collar man, you know, like I don't know, like I was gonna like make all of this food. I like wanted to have like my fridge stocked with like beer, and like I wanted and will, but like I really wanted to like take care of this man. And like at first that scared me, and it does still scare me. It's absolutely terrifying to me, and it's not because like I don't know, I just like I'm so sick of starting over. So I don't want to put in a lot of effort, but I just like naturally do. And I love that and hate that about myself. But I'm going to take it as a good sign that like I don't know, because the second that I start to go numb is the second that I think I'm going to be in trouble. You know? Like the second that I just kind of start caring, because that was happening for a little bit where I just like did not care. And that was scary, honestly. Like I was worried that like something was broken, that I was broken permanently. And I don't know. It's early. It's in the early stages for sure. I shouldn't even really be talking about it on here. But he's pretty great. And he makes me smile. And I think that's good enough for right now, you know? But okay. Wow, I really unloaded on this episode. I apologize. And you know what? I'm not even going to make any promises about there being a guest for the next episode, because who knows what'll happen like with my schedule if I just decide to film something. I don't know. Yeah, and I'm not going to make any promises on like topics or anything like that. But if you're new and you stayed all the way to the end, and if you are a regular and you stayed all the way to the end, bless your heart. Love you so big. Thank you. And yeah, I guess reach out to me if you have any concerns about anything that I said. I genuinely, like, if it, you know, gosh, sometimes I talk a little bit too much. I disclose a little bit too much, but that's okay. It's okay. It's all right. And if there's anything that like you think that I should talk about, or anything you're curious on that you want me to yap about, my life's an open book. Happy to talk about anything and everything. Yeah, I guess, thanks again, and until next time.